Greetings, hip cats. Slide into my path. Let imagination be your passport. And welcome to the kingdom of keys. Well, my hip cats, we have a rare opportunity right now. As the spirits are willing, it is now time for us to journey across that great divide, through the veil, separating the worlds, ours, and eternity, as we cross over to the other side, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. As you may recall, the last time we were together, an unexpected guest had dropped by. Well, he's here again tonight to finish and regale us with his story. Well, before we get to that, let us now welcome our next guest to the kingdom, the world-renowned philosopher and theologian, St. Thomas Aquinas. Welcome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let us now recall the time in which St. Thomas Aquinas constructed his theological and philosophical premise in Summa Theologica. In the early 13th century, there was a subtle thaw beginning in the real world as Europe had experienced a so-called Little Ice Age. And it affected not just the harvest of food and grain, but also the harvest of the mind. And as the temperatures rose and the harvest grew, so did philosophical thought. And reaching deep into the past, the intellectuals of the day began to revive lost traditions. Most notably, the Aristotelian logic of ancient Greece was being utilized in a new and growing fashion throughout Europe after the Dark Ages. Let us now hear where St. Thomas Aquinas grew his thoughts and had his theology explained. Welcome, St. Thomas Aquinas. It is my pleasure to talk with you this evening. One thing I would ask you is, what was it that motivated you to write Summa Theologica, one of the preeminent theological and philosophical theses of the early Enlightenment? Please, share your thoughts.
Again, it's a good evening. I'm a little foggy from the trip, so please bear with me as I try to answer your questions. You see, in the early 13th century, many philosophical ideas they were coming into a new rebirth, so to speak, particularly in the notion that the Greeks, long before, had established a, shall we say, a methodology that we had rediscovered in the 13th century. it was referred to as the logics of Aristotle. And using this technique, I hope to show that God speaks to us here on the earth as one might think through this logical mechanism, so to speak, of the newer philosophy, which I put into my Summa Theologica, a Latin book that tries to bring into the thought process this new logical tradition. And in this way, I think that if I have a mind, and in my mind a thought to come to me like perfection. God is a perfect and all-knowing and omnipotent. All of these ideas, they are not part of our humanness. They are part of God. But we have these thoughts. So where do these thoughts come from? They must come from a higher source. So using this type of a logic, I propose that this is a mechanism with which we can understand the Almighty.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us now listen to our unexpected guest as he weaves a tale of his adventures.
Adam, what are you doing, man? That doesn't... You're out of here!
We're here in my little space that the big guy take care of me, man. Yeah, that's right. Well, every once in a while, he'll call me up and he'll say, "Hey, Adam, I got a job for you, dude." Well, the last time that happened, it went something like
That's
this.
right, baby. Adam, come on now. Stop hiding from me. I'll see you. You know that.
Don't give me no slack, Jack. I'm gonna tell you something. It is now your turn to uphold the end of the bargain that you agreed to, baby.
That's right. It's time to visit Earth as part of the Fallen Angel Protection Program. You're gonna go down there and you're gonna visit the first century. And I want you to name the next Roman Emperor, baby.
Settle down now. Hey, man. The big guy, the big kahuna, the big cheese. You know what I'm talking about. He said, "Hey, Adam, come on down here and let the people know who's going to be the new Caesar in town. Come on now." So, here I got the document right here, and I'm just going to read it to you. This is something that the big boy upstairs, you know who I'm talking about, the dude, wants you to know about. Well, it goes something like this. Yeah, baby. Hear ye. Yeah. I don't know that. Hear ye. Yeah. That's what I'm saying here. You are now beholden upon my command that there will be named by the right of your mind a new Caesar. The new Caesar, whose name is Julius, will be heretofore now known as Glutius Maximus. Yeah.
But thanks, Eve. Thanks. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go lie down. Yeah. Just for a
Join
little
us
while.
next time.
Yeah.
When
St. Thomas Aquinas, the notable philosopher and theologian, returns to discuss an unusual proposition rippling through the scientific community. Until then, keep some spunk in the trunk, a smile on your dial, and fire in your desire.